Good afternoon. Oh,
Good.
good evening. We can call it evening.
Pramila, how are you?
I'm pretty good, and tomorrow going to rejoin my school. So
Oh,
preparing
wow.
for that.
Oh, that's interesting. So it starts from Saturday, 28th June.
Yes, means we
Okay.
don't consider day. Uh,
Okay.
it depends. Date
Oh,
28th June.
oh, all right, all right. But then, back in the day when I was in school, I think I always remember joining from 1st of July. So what happened to that?
It's 1st of July is for students. For
Oh,
teachers, they need to join 2-3 days before students.
okay, okay, all right. All the best
Mhm.
for that.
Thank you.
All right. So for today, our topic of discussion is exercises to improve our English speaking. All right. So that's a great topic you suggested. Thank you for that. So let's talk about some practical exercises we can do every day to make English better and to make to speak better confidently, naturally. All right. So what do you think is one simple speaking exercise learners can start with?
Imitating native speakers, uh,
Mhm.
or what we call that shadowing.
Yeah, shadowing. Yeah, that's a wonderful habit anybody can have. And I think
Mm.
they can also start with the mirror practice, right? So stand in front of the mirror and talk for a few minutes. Maybe you can talk about how your day went or how you're feeling, right? So this builds confidence and it helps with body language as well. So how you are moving your hands, and it helps with eye contact. So that's another thing that we can do along with shadowing. Yeah, that's
Yes, yes.
definitely.
Now this mirror, like talking in front of mirror, now it has changed to recording yourself in mobile while speaking. Is
Right.
that same or little bit different?
I find that easier. So you are in front of the mirror a lot of and during the day a lot, right? So when you're getting ready for going somewhere, you came back, you brush your teeth. So every day you are in front of the mirror. So that's just that should be your reminder that I'm in front of the mirror. I have to practice. It will.
I have to. Yes, good.
So, yeah, I think learners can record themselves. They can record voice notes as well. They can record videos of themselves speaking as well. So that's also another habit or another simple practice they can do.
Yes.
So, a lot of learners, they struggle with thinking in English. So,
Hmm.
what is that exercise that can help them think in English faster?
Think in English means you need to start from your kitchen. I am making tea, I am pouring tea in the cup, I am sipping tea, I am taking cookies with along with the tea. So you will means there will be no need to mug up vocabulary, means relate vocabulary related to context that can be uh, means simultaneously that can be learned. And thinking in what we call thinking in English, it means you need your mind should not first think in your native language, then
Mm,
translate it in the second language, means that process can be stopped. So
yes.
automatically and naturally that thing will come out of your mouth.
You're right. That process of thinking in your native language and then translating it to English, that takes a lot of time.
Yes.
You probably think, or learners probably think that it doesn't take that much time because, oh, I think in Hindi and then I just translate in English and say it out loud. But to the listener who's waiting for you to say the next sentence or waiting for you to respond, so they know, even like say 10 seconds is too much of a time when you're talking to somebody and there's a blank, right? So we cannot think in our native language, translate and then speak because that creates a lot of gaps, that creates a disconnect when you're
Yes.
talking. So it's very important to think in English, and how you can do faster is, as you said, that whatever you're doing, think in your head that, oh, I am pouring the tea and now I'm drinking the tea, I'm sitting with my mom and having tea. So all that is amazing, and we should do that. Also, maybe you can pick a topic you know, and talk for a topic for a minute, right? So pick random topics like food, travel, the city or country you're from, and try to talk non-stop for a minute, and do that every day. So that's just another habit that we can do. And when we're doing that, we should not be worried about the mistakes we are making. So our because here our sole purpose is to think in English. So we can think in English very quickly and talk for a minute. So in the beginning, we might not be able to say or think a lot in a minute, but as we move ahead, as we keep practicing such habits every day, so we can definitely, and see, it doesn't take a long time as well. So when you stand from the front of the mirror, talk for a minute or two, and try to non-stop talking about anything for 1 minute. So just simple things we can incorporate in our days.
Yes, yes. Another third activity we can say is means to reduce your anxiety. You should take this practice daily. Speak
Hmm.
to yourself if you are not getting your conversation partner. So listen to some podcasts, listen to some videos, and just repeat that. Means it is
Hmm.
a sort of shadowing, but
Hmm.
that can be if you are shadowing some conversation
Hmm.
podcast. So
Hmm.
that is a way, like you should learn some phrases
Yeah.
which you need to initiate any conversation, how to introduce yourself, how to speak about your hobbies, or how to introduce your family, or how to talk about your work. So if you are listening to that and give training to you, you are practicing that, you are giving training to your mouth muscles. So after some time, eventually, means I mean to say, eventually, when you are practicing daily, you will feel that English is coming, or second language is coming naturally out of your mouth without any concentrated efforts, or you are not forcefully pushing words out of your mouth.
Absolutely, yes. So, some people have this, there's an excuse and there's a challenge for them that I don't have anybody to talk to in English. I don't have that kind of environment. Everyone at my school, college, home, office talks in Hindi or a native language. So, how do I talk? So, you rightly mentioned that talk to yourself. So, you have an audience that is you yourself. So talk to yourself, and we can record voice notes in that process on our phones. So, once that's done, we can listen to the voice notes again and check if we were clear, if we made any mistakes, and if there's a better word we could have used instead of something.
Yes,
So, you can just describe what you're doing around the house or wherever you are. So just, begin with the simple things. As you said, I'm making tea. For example, I'm cooking rice, the water is boiling, and I want to add garlic in this. So simple little things you do around your home every day.
and that learner, he or she should always keep in its mind that uh, you cannot achieve big things without big struggle or big efforts. So always feel motivated while you are doing something, or while you are struggling with learning something, to be consistent and to feel motivated. That is also one of the technique to not to leave your journey in middle, or in after some struggles, or after facing some failures.
That's absolutely correct. Consistency is key. So if I try to do one thing one day for, let's say, I put in 8 hours in learning English, I did all the activities. But then for the rest of the week, for 6, 7 days, I don't think of English at all. So that is
Yes,
not going to help. So maybe you give 1 hour every day. So, if that's the bare minimum you can do. So that's it. Do that. But do some, if you're trying to learn something, you have to do it every day, right? So that is what makes you perfect. The habit is what
yes,
makes you perfect, right? So
yes.
that is something that we need to do. Perfect. And you mentioned shadowing. So I think shadowing is a wonderful activity when it comes to improving pronunciation as well.
Of
Right.
course.
So they should, yeah.
Shadowing not only improve your pronunciation, how to use that word in what context, how to get that rhythm, that intonation, means you think that you are a native speaker. That is just because when you practice shadowing.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, that's true. So you practice shadowing, and how learners can do that is they can watch short clips from YouTube, yeah, listen to some podcasts or movies, right? Take out those short clips and repeat exactly like the speakers. You said that
Yes.
you shadow, you pretend to be the person saying the things, you pretend to be the native speaker. So try to match the speed, the tone, the stress and emphasis they are giving on a particular word or a particular phrase, the way they talk, the way they move their hands while they're talking, their facial expression. So, all the things combined make you a better communicator. So, not just learning something, one thing. So, it has to be the whole package if you want to be the communicator you wish to be.
And the foremost and the most important thing means never to give up.
Right, right.
If
That's
you
the
are,
most important of course.
yes, if you are not willing to learn, if you are not in mood of doing some practice, but do a little thing, like, but show up daily, like just for 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Means instead of studying for 2 hours, just make think I'm going to read only one paragraph today, or I'm going to speak about one topic for 1 minute. So, or I don't want to talk about anything, some like any serious topic or something. I'm going to listen music. So you can listen to English music if you are not in mood of doing anything else.
Yeah, simple. You are doing something for yourself today. So that is what matters. So you make it a point to do something about your language every day, and that's
Hmm.
what it takes, and that shows your consistency. That shows your dedication towards learning something. So there's no
Yes.
there's no other way around. There's no shortcut to it. In short, right? There's no shortcut to learning something. You have to give in the time required. And I think one more. What are you saying?
And you just
No, I was
carry on
saying
first.
that there's one more important thing that has helped me along my journey is that I used to read a lot. Now I don't.
Yes.
I don't like that fact. Somehow I just don't get the time. But I used to read a lot.
Fine.
So it could be the learners could use short paragraphs or just pick up a book or something that interests you and read it out loudly every day.
This
Right?
is what I was about to say.
Yeah. So reading out loudly is something because something that has helped me. I just thought of that, and when we read out loud, so we want to make sure that the pronunciation of any word is perfect. So we will make that
Yes.
effort. We will go Google that or find it somewhere else. Go pick up a dictionary and see the right pronunciation of any word.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right. So it could be from a newspaper, a book, it could be a blog, it could be anything. It just helps with pronunciation, helps with confidence, and that's what learners should do as well.
Yes, this is what I was about to say. Like when you are reading, if you don't want to speak to anybody, if you don't have any partner to converse with, just read something, but be allowed. When you are reading aloud, means you are giving that training to your mouth muscles to how to pronounce that word. And
Mm.
as you mentioned, you should look up for that meaning, or what is its usage, by going through some dictionary or some other app. So
Mm.
that is very much helpful. Like
Mm.
if you are repeating one word 3 or 5 times, it uh, solidify in your subconscious mind anywhere in, and that can be used in further in your conversation.
Absolutely. The next thing I wanted to share was about how to expand the vocabulary. You mentioned that. Just in the another session, I think yesterday, so a learner asked me how can we improve our vocabulary, right? And what words should we pick up? So I suggested one thing first that we should pick up three at least words a week. I'm not even asking 3 words a day. If that's something somebody can do, then great. But for learners who are starting out, who are afraid, so 3 words a week, that's all. So just pick up three words, use those three words every day in different sentences with different people, and just try to make sense of the sentence, of course. Uh,
Yes.
when you make sentences out of those words, that is the only way you'll be able to remember that. As I mentioned my example, I don't remember any word from my school, right? The word and meaning. I don't remember anything. I only have the words in my lexicon, the words I have been using all this while. So that is the way to remember the word. So you use words in sentences. There's no other way. And now, what three words they should pick up? The learner asked. Now, I think that was a very good question. What three words now do you pick? Where do you get these three words from? What's important? What to learn? Now, as we mentioned, that you listen to a lot of English content, you read out loud, and you think of something. So when you listen, you come across words. When you read, you come across words. And when you're thinking, you might think of, oh, what this word can be called in English, right? So that's how you will come across new words. And now the tip is to make a word diary, right? Write those three words for a week. Three is what I'm telling beginners to do. Now, anyone can choose a number and make sentences using them. And at the end of the week, you'll see that you learned new words. You now know how to use these. And now, in the future, whenever the time comes when you have to use a word like that or that particular, so you'll instantly remember that. So you won't face
Yes.
that challenge. So that's something one can do.
And there is another way to learn vocabulary. Like always try to find or try to learn vocabulary according to the situation or context. Like if you are going for a shopping, you should learn three words regarding shopping.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
are going to
that's
some restaurant, yes, you should learn three words regarding like how to order the food, how to pay the bill, what word should be we use for ordering some food item or some drink. So if you are learning it according to that context, you will automatically you are going to use according to the situation.
That's absolutely correct. So, I hope we discussed some nice tips, and
Yeah,
you and I
definitely.
had the same ideas at the same time. I like that. So, I have another session now, so I'll have to
Sure.
leave. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining this session today, Pramila, and thanks for bringing up this important topic. I hope everybody is benefited by this.
Definitely, if they are going to listen, they are going to learn something from this session. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much for your insights. Thank you. Thank you. Have
Bye.
a nice day. Have a nice evening.
You too.